Welcome to Part 2 of Education in Georgia with Dr. Mary Kay Bacallao. In Part 1, we left off with talking about my role on the Fayette County Board of Education, how I frequently vote no, and especially when it comes to Common Core math education standards. How I traveled to Vermont and talked with Jason Zimba, the lead author of the Common Core math standards, in an effort to find out why the new Common Core standards are so low. After conducting the study, I went to 6 of the 8 listening sessions around the state of Georgia to alert other school board members, state legislators, math educators, and parents about how low our standards have become. In this Part 2 of Education in Georgia, I'm going to start with talking about teacher education, because that's where I am in teacher education. Here's what's happened. Pearson, the textbook publishing company, via Stanford University, owns EdTPA, the Education Teacher Performance Assessment, the national assessment system that all teachers in Georgia will be required to use to obtain certification beginning in the fall of 2015. The National Board Certification was the process that was used to develop the new EdTPA system. First, teachers were offered the carrot. Earn 10% more in pay if you obtain National Board Certification. Now, the process will be used as a stick. Create a portfolio based on the National Board Certification process, or the Georgia Professional Standards Commission will not certify you to teach. However, teachers with the National Board Certification are no longer earning the 10% they were promised by the state of Georgia. In the fall of 2015, certification in Georgia will be based on EdTPA, a portfolio that documents items prescribed by Pearson aligned with Common Core. Certification hopefuls will have to complete and submit the portfolio to Pearson along with $300. Pearson must approve of the portfolio before the first level of certification is granted. If a teacher does not pass, they may resubmit the portfolio and pay Pearson another $300 to get it reassessed. University professors or other qualified evaluators earn $70 to $75 for each portfolio they assess using the Pearson rubric. There are now 5 levels of certification. Pearson approval of the portfolio and student scores on tests aligned to the Common Core will be used to determine certification. If that does not ensure that Pearson-backed Common Core will be taught, we always have Advanced Ed. Advanced Ed, an accreditation agency formed in 2004 that acquired SACS, our former Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, which was our regional accreditation agency, has been taken over by Advanced Ed, an accreditation agency that accredits school districts in all 50 states and 65 foreign countries, is going to make sure that school districts go along with the program. The chairman of the board of trustees at Advanced Ed, Mr. Phil Jacobs, was appointed by Georgia's governor to serve on the Georgia Professional Standards Commission, the organization responsible for teacher certification in Georgia. On the PSD Commission website, he is not Mr. Phil Jacobs, but Philip Jacobs from the private sector. The only people who might think that they have the authority to stop the corporate government takeover of education are local Board of Education members. local representatives might put a stop to the plan. They might listen to parents. So the chairman of the Board of Trustees at Advanced Ed and the Professional Standards Commission member, Mr. Phil Jacobs, made sure that he was co-chair of the committee to develop standards for local Board of Education members in Georgia. He made sure that local Board of Education members were required to abide by a code of ethics developed specifically for them. Their main role becomes to hire a qualified superintendent. Who makes sure the superintendent is qualified? Well, Mr. Phil Jacobs does that too, as a member of the Georgia Professional Standards Commission. They certify superintendents. Board members are also supposed to be an elected office, but should be characterized and treated differently from other elected offices where the primary duty is independently to represent constituent views. School board members should abide by a code of conduct and conflict of interest policy modeled for their unique roles and responsibilities. And although there are many measures of the success of a local Board of Education, one is clearly essential. According to this document, written by a committee co-chaired by Phil Jacobs, maintaining accreditation is clearly essential. And it just so happens that Mr. Phil Jacobs is chairman of the Board of Trustees of Advanced Ed, the accreditation agency. We have just concluded Part 2 of Education in Georgia with Dr. Mary Kay Bacallao. Please join me for Part 3, where we will talk more in depth about the role of Advanced Ed, the Professional Standards Commission, teacher education, and school board members. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.